Hello friends, welcome to my channel Simple Gardening. Today in this video we will be discussing on biofertilizers. In our environment there are number of useful soil microorganisms which directly or indirectly help plants to absorb nutrients. And these microorganisms can be enhanced with human intervention by selecting some sort of efficient organisms, developing them or else culturing them in a lab and adding them to soil directly or else by seed treatment. We can get all the benefits from the biofertilizers. The cultured microorganisms packed in some sort of like carrier material like sand or else jowar powder, whatever, which is called a carrier material, which helps for easy application into the field, are called as biofertilizers. The critical input in biofertilizers is the microorganisms. They are the good bacteria or fungi which directly or indirectly help the plants in getting good yields and production. For any type of plant, it requires nutrients for its better growth and survival. So, these nutrients are classified into two types. One is macronutrients and the second one is micronutrients. As the classification is self-explanatory, the macronutrients are the vital nutrients which helps the plant for better growth. As you can see on the screen, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium are the major or macronutrients. Of course, there are secondary nutrients also like calcium, sulfur, etc. And micronutrients are the nutrients which are required in traces. Of course, they have a very big impact on plants in the form of yield or else in the form of survival from pests and diseases. So the micronutrients give some sort of, like disease resistance to the plant. However, biofertilizers are the major role for a plant which helps these macronutrients and micronutrients to be absorbed by the plant. Though the soil contains nitrogen or else phosphorus or potassium, but if the plant is unable to absorb those nutrients, what is the use? So I always say we are not feeding the plant, but we are feeding the soil. Here we have to remember that there are some type of soils where because of very low organic carbon or else because of over tillage or whatever, the soils will lose its ability to increase the microorganism percentage in its soil. When a soil contains infinite number of microorganisms, then that soil is termed as rich soil or else good soil. Usually, microorganisms play a vital role. As I said before, it plays a very vital role in making the plants absorb the nutrients. How I'll explain it clearly. And there are three type of biofertilizers as you can see here, and I'll explain about every individual biofertilizer which I am showing here. And every biofertilizer has its own role in making its particular nutrient available to the plant. In this video, I'm showing 4 biofertilizers. The first one is Azospirillum bacterial inoculant, and the second one is phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, and the third one is potassium solubilizing bacteria, and the final one is VAM, which is called as vesicular arbuscular mycorrhizae. Let us go in detail about each biofertilizer. The first biofertilizer is Azospirillum bacterial inoculant. This is a very important biofertilizer which fixes the nitrogen. And as a matter of fact, the studies has proved that by using this Azospirillum inoculant, the bacteria present in it can absorb 1 to 10 kilograms of nitrogen from air for an hectare. This Azospirillum bacterial inoculant is also called as PGPB, which means plant growth promoting bacteria. What happens here is the bacteria will colonize the roots of several plant species and increase their growth by production of different metabolites, including plant hormones like auxins. auxins. Auxins are nothing but they are a type of hormones which helps in increasing the number of lateral roots and enlarge the root hairs, through which the plant will be able to absorb more nutrients and water present in the soil, as well as it gives a resistance to salinity and drought as well as acidic conditions. This bacteria will absorb nitrogen from the air and supplies nitrogen in the form of ammonia to the plant. The second important biofertilizer is the phosphobacterial inoculant, also called as phosphorus solubilizing bacteria. This bacteria is capable of phosphate solubilizing nature. It can make the phosphorus available to the plant in an easy form. Around 95 to 99% of total soil phosphorus is insoluble, which means it is not directly available to the plants. But by applying this biofertilizer, 50 to 25% of insoluble phosphates can be solubilized and can make the plant absorb the nutrient phosphorus easily. This phosphobacteria can solubilize on an average of 30 kilograms of insoluble phosphorus to available form in 1 hectare. When this phosphobacteria is applied along with nitrogen fixing bacteria, which I had said as azospirillum, it promotes growth and yield by 30%. This biofertilizer can be used for all type of plants. And coming to the third type of biofertilizer, potassium solubilizing bacteria, also called as KSB. Majority of the soils are rich in potassium, but the percentage of available potash is very less. So by using this potassium solubilizing bacteria, we can make the insoluble K minerals or else the potassium minerals into available form for the plants. If we see the studies, the readily available potassium in the soil solution is only 2%, whereas the remaining 98% of K minerals are in the form of locked up condition in the soil minerals. So by using this bacteria, it will turn this insoluble K minerals into soluble K minerals, which will add the potassium into a soluble form by which the plant can absorb it easily and it will be benefited. Now let us discuss about the greatest biofertilizer, VAM. VAM is nothing but vesicular arbuscular mycorrhizae. It is a type of fungus which has the ability to dissolve the phosphates which are found in abundance in the soils. Apart from benefiting the plants in the form of making the phosphorus available, it also provides the plant with the necessary strength to resist diseases, pests, as well as any sort of unfavorable weather conditions. This VAM fungi, they will create a symbiotic relationship with the main plant, and what happens is the mycorrhizae, the fungi create some sort of mycorrhizae, and these mycorrhizae helps the roots in absorbing the nutrients as well as food like water from the soil. The plants which had been, the soil which had been treated with vesicular arbuscular mycorrhizae had shown very good resistance to drought as well as disease conditions. Now let us see, by using this 4 different type of biofertilizer, we can make into a single excellent biofertilizer which can be applied to any type of vegetable plant or else flowering plants or else fruit plants. Let us see the procedure. Here I had taken 75 grams of every biofertilizer: azospirillum, phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, potassium solubilizing bacteria, as well as VAM. And I had taken 250 grams of builder's sand. And this sand, why I am using is, it acts as a carrier material and it will be very easy for me to apply onto the soil surface. So what we have to do now is, I am just adding all the biofertilizers into this bowl for mixing it properly. So I had taken 75 grams of each biofertilizer And what we have to do is we have to ensure that the soil is dry. It doesn't contain any sort of moisture, because if it is moist, we can't easily spread onto the soil surface. So we have to take a dry sand, builder sand or else river sand. Once all the biofertilizers are placed into the bowl along with the builder's sand, we have to ensure that these products are mixed very well. All the fertilizers, all the four fertilizers should be mixed very well. There should be no sort of lumps, as well as there should be no sort of sand lumps also. It has to be mixed very well, and then it is ready for applying onto the plants. Once all the biofertilizers are mixed very well, you can store this biofertilizer final product for a period of 8 to 10 months. But we have to ensure that this will be stored in a cool, dry, dark place. This should not get direct contact with sunlight. And always remember, the place which you are storing should be dry and free from moisture. During the process of storing, you can observe there will be heavy growth of mycelial or else some sort of fungus in the bottle, but that's a good sign. We need not to worry, just mix it, that's enough. And this is because that the growth of fungal mycelia proves that the microbes are very much active. Okay, now here I am applying for my potted lemon plant. This lemon plant is being is 2 years old, and it is planted in a 16-inch container. And here I am applying 4 tablespoons of biofertilizer, which means each tablespoon is almost around 15 gram. So almost I am adding around 60 grams of biofertilizer. So we have to incorporate it into the top layer of the soil. So never leave it like that. If the plant is in shady conditions, then that's not an issue. But if it is under direct sunlight, we have to incorporate the fertilizer into the soil. And this is an 18-inch container where I am growing sweet orange plant, and the plant is just 1.5 year old. And here I have applied 4 tablespoons of the fertilizer and just incorporating. So whatever vegetable plant or fruit plant you are adding this biofertilizer, ensure that you are mixing it into the top layer, because during the daytimes, and the most important thing is, you have to apply this either in the early hours of the day or else during the evenings. It should not be applied during the noon, because it will have a direct contact with sunlight, and the sunlight might affect the presence of bacteria, or else the fungal presence will be it will be a bit of damaged by the sunlight. This fertilizer can be applied once in 40 or 45 days, and that's sufficient, and it will help the plant in every condition, like drought condition, weather conditions, any sort of harsh disease and pest conditions. Every condition, this biofertilizer will create a resistance for the plant. And once you have applied the fertilizer, it's time to irrigate. We need not irrigate heavily, just ensure that the biofertilizer is wet and it is being seeped into the lower layers of the pot. Whereas if you want to apply it in ground, then you can either directly sprinkle onto the field, or else you can use dollop method, which means making a small pit and applying this fertilizer into the pit and closing it. It is called as dollop method, which will be done near to the root system of the plant. These biofertilizers can be applied in any type of farming, whether it's organic farming or else inorganic farming. But we have to ensure that these biofertilizers will not be mixed with inorganic fertilizers and applied. This has to be separately applied to the soil or else to the plant. Coming to the dosage, for a 12 to 14 inch pot, 2 tablespoons is sufficient. For 16 to 18 inch pot, 4 tablespoons is sufficient. Coming to the lower side, if it is a 8-inch pot or else a 10-inch pot, then 1 tablespoon is sufficient. For every 40 days, we have to apply once. So for organic farming, biofertilizers are the best option for having a healthy soil and growing a healthy plant. So, friends, try to grow your own food and be organic and lead a healthy life. And being organic is the future. So, that's it for today. If you like my video, kindly share, comment, and if you are a new viewer, please subscribe to my channel, Simple Gardening. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.